Couple of quick nuggets about sort of my economic canaries in the coal mine. I think it's worth noting, I don't know if you noticed this, but while most food companies, this was in the New York Times a couple days ago, while most food companies are seeing declines in consumer demand for their product, sales of Hamburger Helper are up 14.5% in the year through August. That is according to the company that owns Hamburger Helper, Eagle Foods. Now, in the 70s, Hamburger Helper became famous. It was a staple on American dinner tables because during that huge period of stagflation and inflation, this is what I grew up with, Hamburger Helper was seen as how you took a little bit of meat and stretched it out. It was a way to take a pound of ground beef and turn it into an entire meal for 4 to 5. So it was, as people are pinching pennies, you look for these little signs that the economy is contracting. The fact that Hamburger Helper sales are back up and haven't been back up says something. By the way, purchases of rice is up 7.5%. You're starting to see more distressed shoppers buying more cans of tuna, salmon, sardines. When you see canned meats, rice and beans, Hamburger Helper, this is a sign of people trying to pinch pennies because the cost to live has gotten too high. One other canary in the coal mine, cardboard box demand. This is one I got from my friend John Ellis, who runs News Items. By the way, I highly recommend subscribing to his Substack, News Items. It is terrific. He shares, John Ellis shares some interests that I share. He loves space. He loves technology, science. He never misses. He's like, in some ways, he doesn't realize this, even though I know he's a political junkie. For those of you, John Ellis is a cousin of the Bushes. He is a Bush, but his mom's a Bush. His father's an Ellis. And in fact, Jeb, for those of you about Jeb Bush, Jeb, J-E-B, that's actually John Ellis Bush. Those are his initials, and that's why he was always known as Jeb. But he and John Ellis are first cousin. But anyway, John Ellis has this terrific Substack, News Items, and this was in his news item about cardboard box demand slumping, another potential warning sign about the health of the American consumer, given that goods ranging from pizzas to ovens are transported in corrugated packaging, i.e. cardboard. And we have had an historic run of pulp mill closures, signaling problems for companies that make corrugated packaging, as well as timberland owners who sell them wood. International Paper, which is the country's biggest box maker, this is all from the Wall Street Journal, by the way, announced last month the shutdown of 2 U.S. container board mills, which make the brown paper that is folded into the corrugated packaging. There's a reason results matter more than promises. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan has become America's largest injury law firm. For the last 35 years, they've recovered $25 billion for more than 500,000 clients. It includes cases where insurance companies offered next to nothing, short of shortchanging, seeing if they could get away with it. And Morgan & Morgan fought back, and they won millions. In Pennsylvania, one client was awarded $26 million. It was a staggering 40 times the amount that the insurance company originally offered. That offer, $650,000, whatever it took to sort of get away without paying. So with more than 1,000 lawyers across the country, Morgan & Morgan knows how to deliver for everyday people. So if you're injured, you're looking for a lawyer, check out forthepeople.com/ToddCast or dial #law, #529 on your cell phone. And remember, all law firms are not the same. So give Morgan & Morgan a look. Their fee is free unless they win. So the fact that demand is down, meaning you're getting fewer Amazon boxes to your house, you're going fewer. Anyway, I don't want to sound doom and gloomish, but I'm just living in reality. This consumer economy stinks. And the economy looks better than it is. The stock market is on a high thanks to AI investment and sort of crypto, what I would call sort of the legalization of crypto, essentially, right? It has created sort of wealth that was sort of hidden wealth. So we have this sort of new wealth that is created. What happens is they legalize some of this crypto. The guys that owned a whole bunch of it are hurrying up and selling it, trading it in and buying Microsoft and Google and Amazon, sort of the big, and Apple, those big large cap companies that are almost feel like treasury bills these days if you own a share of stock in them, which is why those companies' shares keep going up as people trade in all of that. The point is, it's painting an artificial picture of a healthy economy. If you have money, you're doing okay in this economy, although you probably notice your power bill's up and all this other stuff is up. But if you didn't have a lot of savings in the stock market and you're paycheck to paycheck or almost paycheck to paycheck, this economy sucks. And these are just a few examples.